Hey everybody, welcome to the backyard today, and we've got a special for you. We have two recipes in one video. Both of these are sides, and these are our most requested and liked sides. So hold on to your hat, folks. Here we go. Hey folks, we got two sides we're doing for you today. The first one is coleslaw, and the second one is potato salad. Now this is Jeff's coleslaw and Jeff's potato salad. So let's get started with the coleslaw, folks. Now this recipe is based on 1 head of cabbage. So if you're going to use 2 heads, 3 heads, you have to multiply the ingredients times that. We typically do this with 4 heads of cabbage, green and red. But for today's video, I'm going to use 1 head of green cabbage. And we have that in here, and we have it all sliced up. I don't do real fine cut coleslaw. I like it to have some texture to it. So we have 1 head of green cabbage in here. And Lisa, if you would go get the package of carrots out of the refrigerator, because I forgot those. And while she's doing that, in here we have 1 onion, which we sliced up about like this, and we're going to add this 1 onion to that. We also have 1 bell pepper. Now y'all are learning how I am. For me, I'm using red bell pepper because I want some color in this. Since I don't have any purple cabbage in here, I'm going to add a little color. So we're going to use 1 bell pepper. We're going to give this a little toss. Get it all mixed together good. We hope that y'all are having a good day. We hope y'all are enjoying our videos. We're trying to do things a little bit better. We're trying a new microphone today in hopes that it helps you hear me. I noticed in our last video my voice was kind of different depending on my distance from the camera. So we're just continually trying to improve things and make things better. Now, folks, this is 1 package of shredded I guess you'd call this shredded carrots, whatever you want to call that. French cut, I think is the correct term for that. You can cut this yourself out of carrots, but trust me, folks, cutting carrots is not very fun when you do them this small like that. But again, let's get this quickly mixed together real quick. And then we're going to slide this to the side, and we're going to start on the dressing for the coleslaw. Now this is a vinegar-based coleslaw recipe, and I got my cheat notes just so that I don't forget anything. We want to use, into this, we want to add 1 cup of sugar. And Emmett is leaning on the sugar canister, so we're going to take him down for just a second. We're going to pull 1 good cup of sugar. Try to get Emmett back up there so he can keep me straight. And then we want to add a teaspoon of salt, about 2/3 a cup of vegetable oil. And it's important for this, folks, to use vegetable oil and not peanut oil or anything like that. 1 teaspoon of black pepper and 1 teaspoon of dried mustard. And then we want to add about a cup of apple cider vinegar. About that, like that. And we're going to need 1 teaspoon of celery seed, which I don't know where it got off to, folks. We lost the celery seed, so we're going to continue without it. But here we go. We want to whisk this together really good. Now, this is the typical whisk we use because we're in a big pot when we make this when we're out. But for right now, we want to use this little one. So here we go. We want to whisk this really good. All right, folks, we got this whisk together really good, and it's important to do a really good whisk on that. And if you're in the house and you want to use a blender or a hand blender or something like that to do that, you can. But power in the backyard here, we try not to use it. We want to take this and we want to pour it over the coleslaw. And then we're going to give this coleslaw a good stir. And it's best to do this about 3 to 4 hours before you want to serve it. And let this dressing on this coleslaw come together. And we did find a celery seed while we were mixing. And we added that to it. I don't know if you saw that while we were mixing, but we did find it. The oil in this will help it all stick to the cabbage and to all the vegetables that are in here. And folks, you got a really nice coleslaw. Now again, remember this is vinegar based. It has sugar which offsets the vinegar, but this isn't your typical mayonnaise based coleslaw. So folks, we're going to let this sit for a little bit, and we're going to set up to get you the potato salad. Hey folks, welcome back for round 2 of these 2 sides. And we're going to do potato salad. Now this is just potato salad. It's a mustard based potato salad, and it is a creamy potato salad and not chunky. And so let's get started looking at this. Now everything on both of these recipes for the coleslaw and the potato salad we'll have down below. And they're both set for a certain amount. You can multiply that up as you get bigger. We're going to base this on 5 pounds of potatoes. Now, that's typically 1 bag, and I use russet. And because it's creamy, I can cut these in fairly small chunks and boil these until they're good and soft. And they don't have to be real big because we're going to squash them. I let these come to room temperature because I hate putting mayonnaise and stuff like that in on hot potatoes. I like the potatoes to come down to a good room temperature. So folks, let's get started with this. To this, we want to add one medium to large white onion, fairly finely chopped. Nothing bigger than a 1/4 inch. Make sure it's a lot smaller than that. And then we want to boil 6 medium to large eggs. Boil them good and hard, and then chop them up. Again, nothing super big. We want them a 1/4 inch or less of a dice. And that's the big, bulky ingredients that go in here. And I'm going to give this a little stir. Just a little bit. Okay, and to this, we want to add a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. And I have them mixed together in this ramekin. And we want to add a teaspoon of celery seed and a teaspoon of parsley. And I have them mixed together if I don't get it all over myself. And we'll give that a little quick stir for you. Again, like I say, we're trying a new microphone, you know, and if y'all just comment and let us know what you don't like, do like about our videos, we'll try to adjust them whichever way we can to try to make them as pleasing for you and helpful for you as we can. All right, folks. Now, the next thing that I add is dill pickles. And I used to chop dill pickles up, finely chop them. And I got a little smarter with age, I guess. And I started getting dill relish, which is already chopped. And we use a cup of dill relish to 5 pounds of potatoes. But this is a 10-ounce jar. And here lately, I've been saying that's close enough, folks. And with the ease of it, you can't beat that right there. Otherwise, you're chopping a whole cup full of dill pickles. And I'm all about saving time where I can, but I hate cutting back on quality. And this mustard-based potato salad has a fair amount of dill in it. So we get a good bit from that dill because there is some liquid that comes in that dill relish. To that, we want to add a cup and a half of Miracle Whip. Now, I use Miracle Whip, folks. I don't use mayonnaise in this. I like the tang that comes from the Miracle Whip that you don't typically get from the mayonnaise. So we want to add about a cup and a half. And you can use your judgment. If you want your potato salad a little wetter, you can use a little more mayonnaise or mustard. But about a cup and a half is a good starting point for you to get the consistency that you want. And there is about a cup. And again, folks, y'all, I think those of y'all that have been following me are starting to learn. I'm more about just cooking from my mind more than I am from measuring. But I have to give y'all a starting point, and I have to come up with some measurements for what we want, because I can't tell you how to do it off feel necessarily. I have to give you a quantity. So that's going to be pretty close to a cup and a half. Again, use Miracle Whip. Miracle Whip with the dill that's in here and the mustard goes a lot better than mayonnaise. And you just have to trust me on that, folks. And the last thing we're going to put in there is about a third to a half a cup of mustard. Better shake this up because all of y'all have dealt with the water that comes out of mustard. I want to get this together. And about a third to a half a cup. And I would say that kind of goes to your taste. But I like it a little tangy. I don't mind dill. My wife is Pennsylvania Dutch, and we argue constantly on how things are cooked. And I'm more southwestern Texas, down south, and we differ a lot on certain flavors. And one day when we have some time, we'll do chicken and waffles for you, because that is one of the biggest arguments that we ever have on how chicken and waffles is supposed to be done. The last thing is about a quarter to a half a teaspoon of paprika. Now you have to be careful, folks. You want a little bit in there, but if you put too much, your potato salad is going to take on a red tinge to it. And folks, we're going to get this mashed up, and then we'll come in here and give this a taste. Well, folks, we got this all mashed up, looking pretty good. And like I say, it's not a real chunky consistency, but we've got this all put together. And you can see that it's not super chunky potato salad. Some potato salad have big chunks of potatoes in them. This is a little smoother. And while the camera's zoomed up, I am big on plating, I guess you might say. So if we were to take this out of this and put it in a serving dish, I like to just dust it lightly with a little paprika. This really doesn't do much for the flavor. It really just is a garnish or makes it look pretty. So folks, there you go. Let's give this a taste. I really like that. And sometimes I'll garnish on top instead of paprika. I'll garnish on top with a little fresh dill chopped up. But folks, that's two sides. These are our, I guess you'd say, signature sides. They're sides that are really requested. I have one daughter who would take this place for birthday cake. So I know people enjoy these, and I'm hoping you'll enjoy them. Again, you can scale these two recipes that I'll have below. And we hope y'all are enjoying your day. And we just ask that you would go forward. The last thing before we go We are going to be in Corinth, Mississippi, November the 4th for the second annual Wagons for Veterans of the Crossroads. There's going to be probably 10 to 15 wagons there. And for $12, you can come eat all you want off those wagons and a benefit for the veterans, and it's a very good cause. So, folks, let us know if you want to come see us. And like we end everything, enjoy your food.